Hey, Dutch Uncle George here, and on this video I want to discuss blame. And I see this in a lot of different contexts online. I especially see it in the manosphere, particularly with the incel culture, especially the black pills that, for them, their life sucks because everything's out to get them, other people, God, you name it. And I don't want to, downplay the fact that, sure, there are certainly situations where other people, other groups of people, hell, even God perhaps, has made some people's lives shitty. But here's the thing. The longer you focus on that, the longer you get caught up in, well, my life is always going to suck because that person did this or this group of people does that, as long as you stay in that mindset, you have zero chance of improving your life. Zero. Now, I'm not going to say that there's a guarantee that if you start to try to improve things, start to do things to better yourself and to, learn new skills, maybe improve your body, maybe improve your health, and do things that would generally help you solve some of these problems that you're facing, that you're always going to get the solution to that problem, especially right away. You may not. But it is guaranteed absolutely 100%. If you don't make an effort, if you don't make any changes, you're going to be stuck where you are. And actually, it's probably going to get worse over time because as we get older, we have more health problems. We don't look as good. We don't have quite as much ability to change our bodies through exercise. Everybody can change their body through exercise. I'm not saying they can't. There's studies that show even people in their 90s can improve muscle mass and that kind of thing. But it does get harder, no doubt. So the longer you stay stuck in those habits of blame and making excuses, the harder it is going to be to break out of that. And so, yeah, there's, in a lot of cases, there are people to blame. There are people who have legitimately screwed you over, treated you badly, and put you in a bad spot. What I would recommend is if there's something to be done about that, like maybe you need to take legal action. If somebody, cons you out of money and you can find them, maybe you go after them legally or something along those lines. If there's something you can do about it, do it. Do it. Get it out of the way. Move on. This is what I'm really trying to get you to focus on, is that if you sit there and you dwell on that and you make excuses for why you can't make your life better because, they're doing all this stuff to me or they screwed me over and my life is ruined now. Your life may suck. It may be terrible right now, but there is hope in most cases if you actually start putting forth an effort to improve things. Try to figure out what you can do, even if you're limited. You don't have much money, or maybe you're even in bad health and disabled. A lot of times there are still things you can do. It may be baby steps. If you're trying to come out of, say, physical disability, start doing just a little bit of physical activity. Yeah, you may hurt worse after you start. But if you start and you continue, usually things will get better if you continue and try to make an effort to take steps to progress. Same thing with financial problems. I've had bankruptcy. It sucked. I hated having calls from creditors before I filed bankruptcy. I was getting calls multiple times a day, threatening to sue me, telling me what a terrible person I was. It was a bad thing. It was one of the most stressful times. It was the most stressful time in my life. And when I went through the bankruptcy, I felt terrible about myself. It's like I felt like I was a failure. And, some people would probably say I am a failure. But I did the best I could. And when it didn't work out, well, that's why bankruptcy is available. So, when I was going through bankruptcy, I started thinking about, okay, how can I improve my financial health? And I started looking into things, started researching things, and gradually, a little bit at a time, and it took years, I got to a point where I was, financially stable again, and not having to worry about every single dollar I spent or whether I was going to be able to buy groceries that week. It improved. All I can tell you is if you make the effort, you have a chance. If you make no effort and instead wallow in that blame game and make excuses for why you can't do anything better, you're going to be stuck there and probably have a steady decline as you go along. So that's it for this video. I know it was maybe a little bit of a downer, but again, if you put in some effort and you're consistent and you just stay determined and keep at it, there is hope. Things can get better, but you got to be patient and you got to work for it. So hope you got something from this. If you're so inclined, please like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And hopefully I'll see you on another video. Thanks for watching.